All right, so what do we have you here for? Here are our presentation objectives. So by the time you're done with this Zoom call, hopefully we will have helped you to demystify the transition to UCSB life. We also intend to share important registration information and reminders with you. We're going to highlight a few additional campus resources and how to access them. We're also going to ask you to save individual financial aid, residency, housing questions for counseling appointments, and we'll tell you all about how to contact us and how to make those appointments at your leisure. And then lastly, we're going to share about what you can accept during what you can expect during the week that you'll be in step with us. Next, please. So we're going to first tell you a little bit about our staff. And if you are on this screen, please feel free to introduce yourself. And we'll go in the order of photos. So we'll start with Patricia.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jones. My name is Patricia Garcia. I use she, her, AF pronouns, Assistant Director in EOP, and I hail from Chicago, Illinois. Thank you.
I'll
I'll
go
pass it on
next.
over to Brenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Patricia. Hi, everyone. It's so nice to see y'all virtually. It's amazing that y'all welcome to UCSB. This is a virtual meeting, but super excited to be here. My name is Brenda Cortez, pronouns she, her, hers, ella, and I serve as one of your assistant directors along with Patricia. And I'm a UCSB alum, former transfer student. From Mexico, actually, born in Mexico, raised in Santa Barbara, and now my home is Oxnard. So that's where I reside. And looking forward to connecting with y'all during STEP. And I'll pass it on over to Luther.
Hey y'all, good afternoon. Thanks for being here. I'm Luther Richmond. I'm an EOP counselor and I'm the STEP coordinator. I actually attended STEP when I was an incoming first year student way back in the day in 2003. I'm honored to coordinate this program. Shout out to I see Jonathan on the screen. It's like he's the only one with the camera on. Feel free y'all to turn your cameras on and say what's up to each other. It's good to be here for the first time meeting everyone. I'm really looking forward to not only this presentation, but meeting you all in August. And I'll pass it to Katya.
Hi everyone, I'm Katya. I'm the EOP office coordinator. Yeah, I'm from Fresno, California, and I graduated from UCSB in 2022. Yeah, I'm also excited to get to meet everyone and
And I will introduce Aaron Jones, our director, could not be with us today, but he's from San Francisco and he sends his best regards to all of you. So you will meet him when you come later in the summer. And so I am Dr. Tara Jones. I'm an academic achievement counselor and coordinator of the African Diasporic Cultural Resource Center, which is one of EOP's many cultural resource centers. And pertaining to STEP, I am the academics coordinator. So I'm the person who puts together all things pertaining to your academic experience while at STEP. Now, I will also invite my other colleagues, if your photo is here, go ahead and introduce yourselves as well.
Is it my turn?
Go ahead, Mr. Jones.
Hello, Steppers and Team EOP. This is Mr. Jones. I'm Academic Achievement Counselor here in EOP. Been here 20 years. I'm also alumni at UCSB, former honors student, and I love the work that I do. Welcome, Steppers, and hope to see you soon. I'll pass it on over to the next person.
Hi, everyone. Thank you all for joining us today. My name is Jennifer Leon. I use to pronounce she, her, ella. I'm one of the EOP counselors. I'm also the residential coordinator for STEP, so I'll be working closely with our STEP staff. I'm originally from Pasadena, and I'm also a UCSB alum, so looking forward to connecting with you all.
Okay, my name is Jack Rivas. I've been here longer than anybody, I think, in the whole university. I started working here in 1979, and I have been here without a break. I'm one of the academic achievement counselors. For STEP, I will be giving a lecture during I think the first day of STEP, and I'll be teaching one of the transition counselors, and I'll be talking to you a little later as well. Thank you.
Thank you, colleagues. And so there are a few of us who are not here, but we definitely want to mention their names because you will want to get to know them and hopefully you'll have that chance during STEP. So we also have on our staff Martin Carranza, who is a counselor and also coordinates the Residence Hall Peer Mentors program. So he works with the students who we train from our staff to serve you in the various residence halls where you'll be living throughout the year. We also have Jimmy Ojeda Pedraza, who is also an academic achievement counselor and also coordinator of the Chicanx Latinx Cultural Resource Center / El Centro, one of our cultural resource centers that many of you will learn to love and value. We also have Jessica Paredes Uloa, who is also a counselor and a coordinator. So she's working mostly with the Freshman Summer Start program this summer. So although you won't see her as much this summer, she'll still be a vital resource for you through the academic year. We also have on our staff Ashkan Malay, who is an academic achievement counselor and also the coordinator of EOP's MINASARC, which stands for Middle Eastern, North African, and South Asian Cultural Resource Center. And I think I mentioned that I coordinate the African Diasporic Cultural Resource Center. So this is us, and we are the team who are preparing to receive you in a few weeks.
Next slide are our STEP PAs. I just wanted to hop in and ask the PAs, starting with Faith, to introduce yourselves. You should have already connected with your PAs. If you haven't, reach out to them today.
Hi all, my name is Faith. I am going into my 4th year here at UCSB. I'm a Black Studies major, and I was originally born in Sacramento, but I'm from Long Beach. Oh, I also go by she, her pronouns.
And I think Justin is currently in an orientation session, and Nyla called out sick today. But Katya, do you want to introduce them, please?
Yeah, of course. So Justin Oliveros, he is from Westmont, California, which I believe is in LA. He's a incoming 4th year and a bio major. And then Naila, she's from Pittsburgh, California, which is in the Bay Area, and she's a history of public policy. She's also an incoming 4th year.
I'll also go ahead and introduce myself. I'm not a PA, but I'm a team lead. Hi everyone, I'm Bianca. I'm an incoming 4th year, oh my God, biopsych major, with a minor in applied psych. So if you guys have any STEM questions like for the program, let me know. I'm also from the Bay Area, and I have my pronouns are she, her, hers, Aya.
Should I also introduce myself too?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even see you on there, Alexia. Yes, please.
No, you're good. You're good. Hey, y'all. My name is Alexia. I'm a 4th year political science major, theater minor, and I am from Stockton, California. And I'm also one of the team leads for this year. And she, her pronouns. But nice to meet all of y'all. Hope y'all enjoy this STEP program.
Thank you all. And so we also have resident assistants, students who will be living with you and working to help acclimate you to the campus. And you will be meeting them in person later this month. Next slide, please. Thank you. So we're just going to tell you a tiny little bit about our approach to student development and to what we call holistic or whole person counseling in EOP. And so if you want to know in a nutshell what EOP does, we provide cultural services represented by the various cultural resource centers that we named just now. And we also provide counseling services. But we don't provide therapy counseling, right? If you need that, we can refer you to the many skilled therapists that we have on campus. But our jobs here are to provide you academic counseling, but we do that through a whole person or holistic approach. And so that involves teaching you the skills of academic planning. Um, to a certain degree, we can introduce you to financial literacy and connect you to resources to help you build your financial skills. If you have questions of identity or need support related to any facet of your identity, including culture, we can help you with that. As I said, although we don't provide therapy, right, we are still concerned about your psychological, your mental, and your emotional well-being. And so if you need support in those areas, you can connect with us. And if you need additional support, we can connect you to the appropriate entity on campus. And overall, we're here to help you to stay well throughout your time at UCSB and to succeed in transitioning successfully to university life. And so this is a very short list. We do so much more, but in a nutshell, these are some of the things that you can approach us if you need support with. Next, please.
Thanks, Tara. I'll go ahead and talk a little bit about STEP right now. We'll go over the mission there on the screen is there for you to read. But first and foremost, I want to explain, a lot of students are confused, like what's the difference between EOP and STEP? So EOP is our department and STEP is one of our programs. STEP is one of our summer programs, right? Um, so students are sometimes confused if they worry if they don't attend STEP, then if, they're worried if they will still be in EOP. And yeah, that's what it is. So as STEP participants, you are EOP students, and basically for nearly 50 years, EOP and the STEP program has provided participants with opportunities to build their academic and social networks before they start in the fall. So that's what great opportunity you all have this summer. So you all will become more familiar with the campus resources and really increase your sense of belonging on campus even before the fall quarter starts. And so during STEP, I'll go over the calendar in a second, but during STEP, you'll have a chance to preview campus life and learn how to balance your responsibilities. You'll visit campus departments. You'll learn in a couple of specialized courses to connect with other first-year EOP students. And in general, you're going to boost your comfort level on campus, like I mentioned. So we'll have access. You all will have access to one-on-one and small group advising and other talking circles that will help with your transition to UCSB. If you can click on the calendar really quick, we'll go over what it looks like. We've had a lot of questions. The main question these days is about move in and move out. So hopefully we'll have a chance to answer those questions. It's a little small. If you could zoom in just on the selected cells. Cool. So if you can see it over on Saturday, 8/23, move-in will begin at 2 p.m. So if you're getting dropped off on campus, I'd recommend arriving anywhere between 1:30 and 3 p.m. If you're taking public transportation, like a train, plane, or bus, I would recommend arriving anytime really, but just know that if you arrive really early, you have to wait at the train station until about noon till pickup begins. All right, so if there's any other questions about move in, move out, definitely we can save that for our discussion portion. But actually to go over on move out, if you scroll up a little, Jennifer, um, move out is 10 a.m. So everyone has to be out on Saturday, 8:30 by 10 a.m. in the morning. If you need to get picked up earlier at 8, 7, 8, 9 a.m., that's fine. It's just that everyone has to be out by 10. If you're on public transportation for move out, and let's say your train leaves at noon, we still will drop you off in the morning. You might have to wait for a couple hours at the train station. So please try to plan your travel accordingly. All right. That's really quick on move in and move out. I want to go over the weekdays. So the weekend days, we have some fun activities. We're gonna skip over those, but I want to give you a sense of what your days will be like during the week. So in the morning, you'll have writing classes. So you'll have one writing class, either at starting at 9 or 10 a.m. Depending on, like, let's say for example you have the 9 a.m. writing class. During the 10 a.m. class, that's open time. That's time for you to work on your assignments and whatnot, and vice versa. If you have the 10 a.m. writing class, then 9 to 10 is free time. Time to get assignments done and get organized. So morning is academics, writing classes. Then we have a transitions lecture, which is I don't want to gloss over them too much, but we're going to keep it brief. Transitions is an awesome component of STEP to help you all be introduced to various topics. If you scroll down after the transitions lecture each day, we'll have lunch. And then in the afternoons, we'll have transition section, which we'll get into small groups. Um, Afternoons from about 3 to 5:30 are all dedicated to visiting campus resources and campus departments such as financial aid, basic needs. Wednesday, you'll see there we have a beach day. We're gonna go down to the beach and hang out, have some downtime in the afternoon that day. But the other afternoons are filled with group advising and chances for you to connect with departments. Dinner's at 5:45 to 6:30 every night. It's a little early for a lot of people to eat, so just a heads up on that. And then the evenings are all about our residential component. So you'll see RA activities. That's when you have a chance to meet up with a lot of our resident assistants. And then also in the evenings, we're having some drop-in advising from some of our campus partners like financial aid. Our bio advisor will be doing some drop-ins in the evening. And then some fun stuff. Thursday night, we have our talent show. Friday night, we have our dance. So yeah, our schedule is jam-packed. It is busy, but it also is a lot of fun. And we'll open it up to questions at the end. Yeah, I see in the chat, you will be getting this in email, likely, and at least probably not next week, but the following week. We'll get that together. All right. Next slide. All right. We'll pass it over to the rest of the team for some academic tips and discussion about that.
And specifically, we're going to introduce Jack Rivas and Mr. Stephen Jones, who goes by Mr. Jones. They are two of our most veteran counselors in EOP. And Jack also has experience as a former College of Letters and Science advisor. And so we're going to put you in the hands of our wise ones to give you some very important academic information and advice. And so I highly encourage you to take out your phones or your pens or whatever you write with or take notes with to make sure that you don't forget any of this.
Okay, good afternoon again, everybody. Again, my name is Jack. So I want to reiterate what was mentioned earlier, that we do what's called holistic counseling. That's very different than academic advising. Advising, you can go to letters and science advisors, engineering advisors, your major department advisors, and they give you like this recipe of what you can take to make progress and graduate on time. What we do is we all know those. We know all those templates and what they look like, but we really take into consideration who you are as an individual and what's the best way for you to approach your education and how is it going to work best for you. So that's why we counsel. You always make all your decisions of what you're doing, but we try to get as much information as we can so that you can feel comfortable and you can have the kind of success we know you all want to have academically to pursue your goals and future after graduation from UCSB. So that's the big difference with us here at EOP. We do academic counseling. One of the things we try to really stress is that you really need to pay attention to what you're taking any given quarter. Everybody has different kinds of situations with them. Um, some of you at some point in time are probably going to get a job either on campus or in the community to assist. That's all going to impact your academics. And we want to make sure that you're being successful academically. So that's why we suggest that you take 3 academic courses to begin with. This is not high school. You don't take 4, 5, 6 classes. You're going to find that 3 classes is more work than you were ever doing in high school. Just to not to scare you, but to give you a balance. What you did in a year in a high school class is what you're going to do in 10 weeks in a quarter here. That's why students only take 3 or 4 classes. If you know what major you're doing, and if your major is something that requires a lot of preparatory work, we would suggest that you do 2 courses towards the preparatory work of your major and 1 course under the category of general education. Like some of you came to orientation, so you know about this. Others of you have no idea what I'm talking about, but that'll all come clear later on. So take a couple things for your major, take 1 thing as a general requirement or as an elective, something you just want to study because you want to study it. Again, the mindset that you have to have here at university is very, very different than high school. It is very fast. What you are expected to know and understand is highly elevated from what you were doing in high school, and you need to figure that out so that you can be successful. Mr. Jones, you want to add a couple things here?
Yes, I will. My pleasure, Jack. I'm Mr. Jones, Academic Achievement Counselor here in EOP. Jack is my former counselor. He was the first counselor I had on this campus, and he shared this information with me as an undergraduate, and it's still applicable today. When you're scheduling your classes, there are certain patterns you guys should be considering. Like, how much time do you have between classes? I always tell students you could get a schedule and you have an hour between classes, great. Sometimes it's cut down to 45 minutes, but never allow yourself to take classes back to back. You're going to fall through the cracks further down the road, right before midterm. Always take good lecture notes and have a buddy, a study buddy, to share your notes with in each one of your classes. Therefore, what you've missed, they have, and what they have missed, you have. I like that part there, Jack. Shifting your mindset from high school to the university. See, your high school approach, you was taking classes back to back to back. Here it's best to have a little gap in between those classes. And I will pass it back to you, Jack.
Okay, thank you. Also, there's lots of ways to get academic support. And we really want you to understand what this place is all about, what these majors you have picked, some with a lot of knowledge and information, some with absolutely no knowledge and information, let's be honest. It just sounded cool, so you picked it. Once you figure out how that all works, then we help you understand the best way to approach what you're doing. I mean, we have majors here that I'm sure you never even heard of, and you have no idea what they're all about. And frankly, some of you are going to end up being those majors when you graduate. People change their major all the time. Frankly, I didn't know exactly what I was going to major in till after the end of my first year when I'd taken all these classes from all these different things. So I ended up being a triple major. I know that sounds crazy, but it is a little bit. But these were the things that I was really, really interested in. And I didn't even know about some of them until I was actually here taking the classes. So we help you explore this thing. Another thing that's tied to that is your future goals. What are you going to do when you get out of here? A lot of times people don't have the understanding that there are many paths to get you to the same place you want to be, and you could all be different majors. Like a lot of people believe, oh, I want to be a doctor, so I have to be a bio major. No, you don't. You can be any kind of STEM major and still get there. That's the kind of stuff that we all know about. And we encourage you to really explore with us what are the things you're interested in? What are the goals you have for yourself? And we could even give you the option of considering other majors that you probably never even thought of that would help you get to that place and point. And I know all of us as counselors have had people come in as thinking, I'm going to do this. And then for whatever reason, change their mind and end up doing a different major and are very happy at the results of what happened. Mr. Jones, you want to add something else here?
No, I think you covered it pretty well. The significance of talking to a counselor, EOP counselor. See, although we wear the title of academic counselor, we do so much more in a counseling session.
Okay.
We'll never take your independence from you. It's your choice.
Yeah, you will always make the decisions. We're here just to offer you options that we hope you look at so that you can make the best possible decision about what you're doing. If you have the opportunity, I would highly encourage you to do the ACE writing program. Some of you who were here for orientation heard about that already. It's the same requirement, writing 1, writing 2, and then the A2 requirement for general education. But there's a small component that's only for EOP students if they choose to take it. And that's the ACE writing classes. To me, the benefit is they're a little bit smaller than the other classes, and you get a lot more of attention from the instructor. And believe me, you may not think that's a good thing, but that's a really good thing because they really get to know you. They really get to understand what your goals and aspirations are, and they really get you to focus on how to do university level writing. Casting no shade on anyone and their writing ability, you have not written for this until you've been here. And it's going to be very, very different. And they'll teach you how to do that. And then we're going to mention all the time all the various academic resources that are available on campus. We're going to give you some links a little later on in the slide presentation. You should take pictures with your phone of all those links and see what they're all about. But getting assistance is not a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of strength because you realize you have to perform at a very high level when you come to the university. And if you actually look at the students who use the Campus Learning Assistance Services, CLAS, and those of you who came to orientation already heard about this, those are the students that have the higher GPAs because they want to get A's and B's, so they go get the assistance. I wish people who were in trouble would go use them, but they have the mindset that it's a less than thing that they're doing. No, it's not. It's enhancing your academic pursuits and enhancing the opportunity for you to achieve at a very high level. Mr. Jones, do you want to add anything here?
No, you good, Jack.
Okay.
I got something real quick, Jack.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just getting some questions in the chat about ACE writing.
Yes.
So someone asked, I'm taking writing 1 in the fall, is what you're saying. Can I take ACE writing instead? And the answer is yes. So every stepper is just one of the cheat codes of being a stepper. Every stepper will have a chance to switch their schedule around if you want to take ACE writing. Let's say you're taking like a random class, you want to switch it for ACE writing. We're going to have a Google form during STEP with instructions on how to do that to request it. Or like this student was saying, if you're already in a general writing 1 or 2 class and you want to switch it to ACE, which stands for Academic Communities for Excellence, ACE, just for EOP students, then you can do that as well. You can request to be moved into ACE.
Yeah, and it's actually a perfect segue. And because you're coming to STEP, everyone who comes to STEP might have an opportunity to change their schedule a little bit. Because maybe after you got home from orientation or you've been in STEP and you're listening to all the information that we're giving you, you decide, oh, whoa, maybe I want to change this course because of everything I've heard, and I might want to try something else. Coming to STEP, you get a first crack at changing your schedule for the upcoming fall. And as Luther just pointed out, that the ACE thing is a really good one to have. But some of you, again, may decide you want to change what you actually signed up for. So you will be encouraged highly to talk to all of us who are going to be there. The transitions instructors, the AOP counselors, the letters and science advisors who are going to be there. to talk about why you might want to change, what's your rationale for that, and we'll either verify that for you or maybe even give you other options that you might want to consider. Because again, we really take you into consideration in what it is you're trying to accomplish. And if you don't know, great, ask us questions. We will give you opportunities to ask questions about, well, I never thought about this, but I heard in this lecture this thing, and now I'm interested in it. How can I do that? We'll show you all of that. Take advantage of the fact that you're going to be here for a week. You're going to meet a lot of people in a lot of different offices who can offer you all kinds of different support. Don't be that individual who then goes home after STEP and said, I wish I would have talked to somebody about that. So I want you, the last thing to be is to, if we could pull up the 4-year plan, that slide.
And I put in the chat, all the participants will be receiving this via email, this and also the STEP calendar.
Yeah, this is something I actually helped create way back in the day with some counselors from the Counseling and Career Services. And I know Mr. Jones has added some things that are unique to EOP that we might want to put in there. But this is kind of an idea of all the different kinds of resources you should utilize and when you should start doing that and what kind of thing it's going to give you to put in your toolbox to be the most successful student you can possibly be. And I use this religiously when I talk to the students. And I think that they come out of here being very grateful and very pleased with what they were able to accomplish as a student. Mr. Jones, you want to add anything?
Oh, you're doing a great job, Jack. I'm just
Yeah,
loving it.
I'd like to interject briefly.
Sure.
Is it possible to zoom into this document so we could see its contents?
There we go.
There we go.
So yeah, this document's a real cheat code, everyone. As you can see, it goes year by year, just some ideas for what you can be doing in each area of your academic life. Or social, there's like social self-understanding, gaining new skills, making commitments. Um, yeah, I was taught by Jack and Mr. Jones on how to use this, and I used this myself way back in the day when I was a student.
Yeah, you see, one of the things that to me is really, really important is that middle column, the self-understanding. Your first year. I think that's one of the big things that isn't really addressed about why you go to college. It's really to figure out who the heck you are. What do you really believe? What do you really want to be accomplishing? What are truly the values that you possess? And what kind of decisions are you making that show you have those values and those interests? So people don't talk about that a lot. We do in EOP. We talk about that a lot with you to make sure you're getting everything you want out of this educational experience.
I'd like to chime in as well. Well, in regards to your scheduling or your class schedules, as Jack mentioned, you will have opportunities to adjust that during STEP, but we want to encourage you. So every quarter, you'll have what's called a pastime, and that will be the period that you can register for classes. And it's not just a thing where you go online and choose it and then it's set. There are a lot of factors that go into that process, right? Because as freshmen, you get the last dibs on classes. So you may not always get the ideal schedule that you want. And sometimes that can be difficult to accept. But that is one of the reasons why it's very critical for you to talk to an EOP counselor when you're pre-planning your schedule, right? And throughout that process of adding or taking away classes, you can check in with us to make sure that we can guide you through that process until you develop the skills to master that on your own. But it's always wise to seek feedback because you're brand new to this, and there's certain things you may not know about the patterns of classes that we have experience with and can better guide you so that you can avoid some of the common pitfalls that come with choosing the classes that are not best for you. Another benefit of coming to see an EOP counselor is that we don't expect you to know everything coming into this experience, right? But you're learning as you go along. And so through a series of counseling sessions, we can help you to identify your values and how they fit with your choice of classes or your course of study, right? You're also entering a research institution, which is different than going to a CSU or a different kind of university. And so we can help you to understand what that means for you to be at a tier one world-class research institution. And we can also help you to identify opportunities to engage in undergraduate research experiences, which can be a key to self-discovery and also to your future advancement. And then also we understand that we don't all have the best experience during that first quarter, right? And so I graduated with honors and distinction in my major, but in my first quarter as a freshman, I had a 1.84 GPA because I was less experienced at the beginning than I was at the end. And so in those instances, rather than sort of stay to yourself, we encourage you not to stigmatize yourself or to be ashamed, but to seek support because sometimes all you need to know are the skills to adjust what you are doing so that you can be successful the next go around. And then also the university has, or the College of Letters and Science, or the College of Engineering, if that's where you're at, they have very specific policies that can sometimes help you if you had a bad quarter, if you might need a retroactive withdrawal or a retroactive drop. And so these are the things that you won't know on your own, but if you connect to an EOP counselor, we can help you to identify these opportunities to correct your academic record. And then just lastly, I'll say that in addition to supporting your retention, right, keeping you enrolled successfully so that you can graduate, we also help you in your process of matriculating out of UCSB onto your career paths or into professional or graduate schools. And so, we just really want you to know that although you're not mandated to ever come see us, right? You have this great resource and we are here for you. And we just encourage you to utilize us as much as you can for your own benefit.
And the last thing I want to leave you with is put in a shameless plug for things that I'm involved with, along with some of the EOP counselors. In the fall and the winter quarter, there's a series, INT 95A and INT 95B, that you might want to take. It's a 2-unit course. So it's not overbearing. It's not a ton of work. There's not a ton of homework, but it's going to help you identify what the university is all about and what are the different resources here and how can you best benefit from utilizing all these resources. So it's stuff you should do anyway, but you might as well get academic credit and you might as well get an A. Getting an A is a nice thing to get. So you might want to think of that in the fall quarter and in the winter quarter. And in the spring, which is different from the template here, there's a course, Education 20, that you can only take your freshman year, your first year. It's taught in the spring. It's a really good class to take. And then later, when you're getting ready to exit the university, there's a class I created that you can take as a junior and a senior, much to what Tara spoke of right now. Now, what am I going to do? You get anxiety sometimes as you get close to graduation that, oh my gosh, I know how to be a student. Now I got to be a real grown-up adult. Now what am I going to do? I teach a class, INT 102, Emerging Adulthood, when you become a junior or a senior. And I would recommend you take that as well. Again, shameless plug for me. Thank you. Anybody have any last comments for them?
That's actually a good segue. We can open up the discussion maybe with that first question. I saw a question in the chat about, let me see. Oh yeah, about the INT 95A. They asked, what is this class? And when I was trying to add it to the schedule during orientation, they couldn't find it.
Yeah, it is a course that explains what it means to be at a research university. How is this different from going to a Cal State or going to a more broader liberal arts education college? And how different are the expectations at a research university than one of these other colleges as well? And it does a ton of work on the culture and the resources available at a university. It should be ready to be posted now because we were all figuring out when we can teach and when we can't teach and all that. That's why it wasn't in the schedule before. But it's for freshmen, 95A and B. When you become a sophomore, there's a 95C that's being taught, and you might want to take that. It's an extension of what the 95A and B are. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, so this is my favorite part of the presentation. We're gonna open it up. We do encourage you to turn on your camera so we can see your faces and link the face with the name if possible. But yeah, we want to open it up for any questions, step related, academics related. We want to encourage the students the student staff that are in the meeting. Want to encourage you to share your personal experiences. So yeah, please don't be shy.
And right before we proceed with questions, the screen that is currently up is very important. We won't cover these topics, but we included it so that you will know where to find the information if you have any questions pertaining to residency, billing, financial aid, housing, joining organizations and clubs, campus events, employment opportunities, and more. And then, it's very important that you know what QLESS is, QLESS. And so those are essentially online drop-in support services for many of the different departments. And so I think the billing office has a QLESS, financial aid has a QLESS. If you click the first link, you'll find the comprehensive list of various queues or drop-ins that you can go in. And the way it works is simply that you input your contact information, and in some cases, you'll briefly state the support that you're seeking. And then when these queues are open and active during the week, a staff person will contact you and they'll be able to help you as needed. And so I hope that you will take a screenshot of this page and utilize it as necessary if you have these kinds of questions.
And again, if you have a question, go ahead, turn on your screen, ask your question, and one of us at least will have an answer for you.
I see some questions in the chat. Again, just to echo what Jack said, please don't be shy. Advocate for yourselves. If you have the question, someone else probably does too. A couple of really good questions that I meant to go over during the calendar is from Lexi right there, will we have to stay on campus or can we explore? So yes, that's a very big one. So STEP is a closed cohort program, and that's one of the main points I wanted to get across. Thank you for mentioning that. So closed cohort means we do everything together. And so the reason why is not because we want to be an authoritarian figure and we want to control and know what you're doing at all times. It's mainly because as STEP participants, you haven't matriculated fully into the university. So EOP is responsible. So they're responsible for all of our participants, many of which are minors, right? So we do everything together. There isn't an opportunity, you can't like leave campus by yourselves. There is a curfew of 10 p.m. on the halls, lights out at 11. Or like we have to be outside of the common areas like the lounges and game room by 11. That might sound really different than what a lot of students are used to, like with your independence, but we encourage you to remember it's only 1 week, y'all. When you come back in the fall, that is not going to be the case. We're not going to be checking up on you for lights out or anything. Nobody will be. So just wanted to give you a heads up. There's a lot of benefits to the program being like that. It keeps everyone engaged. It helps you meet a lot more people. And so there are exceptions, like if you need to leave for religious reasons or for another reason where a parent or guardian can sign you out, then we can do that. But we ask that students otherwise stay with the group for the week. So that addressed that one. I see a few more coming in, but yeah, we want to make it interactive. So if you can, feel free to unmute and ask your questions there rather than the chat. It's kind of hard to keep up with the chat.
I saw a question that I think would be really good for the PAs to answer. That is, what is your best advice you might have for someone who has anxiety over beginning university?
Yeah.
I can try to start answering that. So I'm a team lead again. Hi guys, I'm Bianca. I think honestly, STEP is one of the best choices you probably could have stumbled across and chosen for, your first like taste of UCSB. I feel like you're gonna make so many friends that you're gonna keep for your like whole college experience. It's just such a great place to like start networking. And mind you, if you guys have gone to orientation, maybe you guys felt a little like, what's the word, like out of place, maybe considering like maybe you just didn't find your people. I remember for me, I just didn't feel like I fit in correctly, if that made sense. But then STEP was a place where I went and I felt like I met a lot more people who I personally connected with, being low income, first generation. It just honestly was such a great place for me to jump right into it. And I feel like meeting those people who I could like learn to kind of like lean on, you feel so much better like going into UCSB. Like you're gonna leave STEP. Hopefully, I'm not gonna guarantee anything, but I will guarantee you're gonna leave STEP literally so excited and feeling so empowered and happy that you chose it in the first place. And honestly, like I would not be scared. You guys are not gonna be scared. You guys are gonna be excited. So yeah.
Thanks, Bianca. I'd say that's really accurate. Any other students that would want to share? I know Alexia and Faith, y'all both did STEP, so you might have personal experiences.
Yeah, I think Bianca pretty much like said what I would say. I would just say, keep in mind that there's people who are like you who are all starting this experience who probably have the same feelings as you. And just lean on them and just realize that you're not in this alone. And when you have those feelings, you can come to EOP and express that and have someone help you figure those things out because you're all in this together. And yeah, it's going to be a good experience. It's going to be like a hard transition, but you'll get through it for sure. And EOP is like a family that will help you get through that. So don't be too worried. This is a great resource.
EOP is like really like family.
Honestly, they both said very similar things to what I would say. I just feel like you really have to put yourself out there to be able to find the type of people that you want to surround yourself with. In all honesty, I feel like my experience at STEP was really great because I was able to find my group of people and it just gave me a nice like transition into coming to school for fall quarter. And I would just also say like don't be scared as well because majority of the people that you're gonna meet have, you know, already are in the same mindset as you or have been there before. So there's nothing to really worry about. Everybody's really welcoming and nice for the most part as well.
That's what I was gonna mention. Like Faith summed it up. EOP is really like there's a lot of family vibes here. We all have your best interests in mind when we're working with First Step. Like I mentioned, I'm a stepper myself. I was highly anxious, nervous. There were things that I was like uncertain about, and also you don't know what you don't know. So, it's kind of hard to imagine what's going to take place, but just going off of what the students have said, it sums up like 99% of our participant feedback. I would say 95 to 99% of students who do STEP end up saying that they're more confident as a student and they're just thankful that they went through with the process to begin with. Seeing some more questions in the chat. Will we be provided any other living supplies or furnishings that are not on the list? So in the rest halls, you'll have access to the bed, but you do have to bring all your blankets and covers. I recommend bringing your own pillow for sure. The list that was given out is pretty comprehensive. STEP's been going for like 48 years, and there isn't really a need to bring things that are not on that list. But if you'd like to, definitely let us know if you have questions about those items. One question that's commonly asked about is a refrigerator. No, like please don't bring a mini fridge. You'll not need it. But yeah, just wanted to go over that.
If you play a musical instrument, feel free to bring that.
Yes,
A lot of us have musical abilities.
definite.
Luther, Zitlali Pena had a question. During STEP, is it possible to explain the financial process, especially regarding FAFSA and how we get to pay for our tuition and more?
Yes, that's a good thing to go over during STEP. So you have a couple of opportunities. We're gonna have a lecture from some of the financial aid staff. We're also going to be having drop-in advising by some of the financial aid staff. I would say the drop-in advising is the place to go for that question. If you still haven't, and that's happening Tuesday night, I believe, if you still haven't got an answer to your question, later on in the week, on Thursday and Friday, there will be time to go visit those departments in person to get those questions asked. I would also ask your RA, and your team leaders, like what their what their experiences have been, because they can help you kind of navigate the basics. But for individual case specific questions, definitely choose the drop-in advising for financial aid.
Yeah. And remember, that's why we shared the screen about queue lists with you. So financial aid can also be accessed through that queue. And you can do that tomorrow if you like, if they're open. So you don't have to do everything while you're at STEP. Some things you can do before and some things you can also do after.
Yes. See another question from Amanda. What will move in and move out look like? How do we get our keys and what's the time period? So move in is from 2 to 4 p.m. on Saturday, August 23rd. But like I mentioned in the beginning of the presentation, if you're getting dropped off, I would imagine, or I would recommend getting there. I think I said between 1:30 and 3 last time. But if you can arrive between 2 and 3, that's even better, just once we start. And then if you're taking the train, and I think I saw this question again in the chat. So if you're taking public transportation, the train, bus, or plane, you can arrive at any time before that, but we're going to start doing pickups at those stations around noon. So yes, you can arrive at 9 a.m., but you might have a little bit of time to wait. So if there is an option to arrive a little later, like around noon or 1 o'clock, that would be the time to arrive. And we do provide transportation from the Goleta Amtrak and the Santa Barbara Airport, but not the Santa Barbara Amtrak downtown. It's too far. So only the Goleta Amtrak and Santa Barbara Airport.
And then Paula Estrada wanted to know, where are we meeting when we get to campus?
Oh yes. On there should be directions in your acceptance email, but you want to navigate to parking lot 6. Parking lot 6 on campus. If you Google that on the UCSB campus, if you Google that, that'll give you the clearest information. And we're going to be going into Santa Cruz Hall, Residence Hall. So Santa Cruz, I'll put it in the chat. So you want to navigate to lot 6 and Santa Cruz Residence Hall. When you arrive on campus, you'll see plenty of signage and you'll see our staff helping you to get there, helping you to get to from the parking lot to the move-in. This is right now, I just received information today. This location is subject to change. If we don't end up in parking lot 6, we'll end up in parking lot 2. But we'll send that information out once it becomes confirmed by parking services. Um, I see you, Shauna, low key scared. Let's talk about it. Feel free to unmute. Let's talk about it. I think that that's why we have this discussion, right? A lot of people are in the same boat. We're very understanding. We're here. We're your counselors during the academic year, but we put this on during the summer so that you know you can get these questions addressed and these fears and anxieties addressed too, for sure. But yeah, let's talk about it. What are some things that you're like nervous about, anxious about? Just have to lock in on it. Yes, sometimes that's necessary. No worries. A little multitasking, that's all good. Um, my hope is that a month from now, or yeah, exactly a month from now, that y'all will like look back at this chat and just be laughing because you have like so many friends and you have so many connections and you know like staff members on campus. That's really what it's gonna be like for a lot of y'all. Um, of course, it's not like 100% guarantee. So if you're still feeling like you're not connecting with people, or if you know you're kind of in your shell, definitely let us know. We can help you navigate those times.
I'm sure you will find someone on the staff or the peer or the office assistant who you can connect with. We're all really open. We all want you to succeed. And the beautiful thing is, so many of us actually went to school here. I went to
Mhm.
school here. So many of us went to school here. And we gained a lot from our EOP experience. So you have lots of ears who are more than willing to listen.
Yeah. Um, our career staff, many of us can hang here if you have individual questions. I'm still seeing the chat blow up. Oh yeah, the thrift stores. Yeah, during Steph, we'll talk about, the academics, but also the social aspect of living in Santa Barbara, whether that's culture shock or whether it is where to get good food, where to go on hikes, all that. What we tell students a lot of times is, hopefully this is your home away from home, right? It might not ever replace home, but we want to make it as close as possible. We want it to make it feel like a home away from home as soon as possible.
Hi, Luther. Good questions, everyone. I wanted to share, I love thrift store shopping. I go to Ventura, Oxnard, but in Santa Barbara, there's some really good ones before getting onto the 217, right in front of where there's like a car dealership of some sorts in Goleta. So before getting onto the 217 in Old Town Goleta, there's some really good ones there. I find really good things. So I recommend those. If I find it, I can share the address with the STEP team to share with y'all.
Yeah, I want to add too that my my daughter, she's grown up adult now. She's 39 years old, but she does all the shopping for her reselling here in Santa Barbara. She comes home to visit her mother and I every 2 weeks because there's all kinds of sales at the thrift stores here in town. And she has a whole career aside from her regular career as a thrifter. So I can give you all the key spots she goes to in the Santa Barbara area, from Carpinteria to out here where campus is, because she goes to all of them every 2 weeks. They know her by name, and she's been doing this for like 10 years now. So I got your back. See, us EOP people, we know a lot of stuff.
I see a really good question about being worried that you might fail academically or not, you might not be able to balance academics and social life, which is a valid concern. Like that's real. Like I think that current students, what would y'all say? I know Bianca put something in there, but what would you expand on that with?
I, I guess I should chime in now. I hate to see word undergraduate students, and we all do work that need to be done to alleviate your fears and your stresses. Me personally, I will tell you this from the heart. My many years of being an honor student at UCSB, I can help you become an honor student if you're willing to do the work. If you win the best of time, you have nothing to worry about, making sure that your academics are always first. And you're good. This is an academic institution. Academics first. Everything else is secondary. You'll be fine. We have over 500 resources here for you, various student groups and organizations. You will definitely find your niche here. And if any of those organizations don't meet your needs, get two more people with similar interests and start your own org. We have something for everybody here. And again, welcome Gauchos.
Yeah, I would add that the key to not having that difficulty is not sharing that you're having difficulty. That's the problem. That's why we're all here. Believe me, we were not all always A students. I think I can really honestly say that for all of us. We all had struggles at some point in time. It's really a matter of, do you put yourself out there so that people can assist you when you have trouble? And what we're trying to tell you is with EOP, you have a whole nother family here. And between all of us, we refer people to one another all the time. Some of us have different expertises than others do. And we refer to our colleagues all the time here, both within the office and with the other resources. The issue to prevent difficulty is when it happens, go get help and we will plug you in. That's really if you were admitted here, which you all were, you are smart enough to be here.
Yeah.
I don't care what kind of a slacker you may be with doing your homework on time or whatever, you're smart enough to be here. But will you make smart decisions? And one of the smartest decisions you make is seeking assistance when something goes wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just going to reiterate that and say that, you know, we see a lot of students, even today, working with another colleague, we were looking at the case of a student who's been here for a long time and they've been struggling the whole time. And in spite of all of those struggles, it was really a surprise to see that, oh, they're reinstated. And when we looked at the case notes, we could see that they'd worked with so many different colleagues, so many different parts of the campus. And so I say that to say, as a professional, that, even if you're not here, sometimes we're still looking at your case and really thinking of how do we work together to help these students. So we are truly invested in your success. The campus is not cold and uncaring, although sometimes you can have that sense, right? But everyone here is truly rooting for your success. And we all have the professional skills and expertise to help you to achieve that success, right? But the initiative is yours to take, to reach out for help and to accept that help. So we want to destigmatize help. Asking for help is not a shameful thing, it's an empowering thing. So if you seek our support, and we're not the only people here to help you, right? We can't answer all your questions, but we're a good place to start because we can connect you to the other people who can help you beyond our individual capacities. And so if you utilize the system and all these resources you will be paying and borrowing thousands of dollars for, you can be highly successful. We assure you of that.
Yes, very, very well put by everyone. I would just follow up and say that steppers are statistically doing better in their classes, graduate quicker. There's a connection between campus leadership. We really highlighted it this year. There's a connection between step participation and campus leadership, whether you go into hall council or you lead an organization. And so that's not by accident. It's really because step students from before fall quarter starts, y'all know how to ask questions, and our number one piece of advice is don't be afraid to ask questions, right? Or don't be afraid to reach out for help. So because of that, I think that's why step students do that much better.
Yeah, you'll find when you move into the residence halls, the other residents are going to be coming to you because you have all the answers and you know what it's all about. You're going to be, low key one of their advisors when you're living in the residence hall.
Yeah, that's
Hi,
it.
Luther. Hi, thanks so much for sharing all your questions, y'all. Such so interesting to and hear what y'all have chatting about and questions y'all have. I just want to respond to someone who's a little concerned about the recent tsunami warning that we received. I mean, Santa Barbara is on the ocean. I will say that's probably the first tsunami that I've heard about actually recently. And I just want to mention a safety alert system that UC Santa Barbara has, as well as the County of Santa Barbara, that you can sign up for and receive notifications on your phone in regards to like wildfires or tsunamis or earthquakes or anything along those lines. So if you're concerned about notifications, we have systems in place here at the university that you can sign up for, as well as here in the county.
Also, I want to add, being from Santa Barbara, I don't think we ever had another tsunami warning like that.
Right. I know, never. I was like, wow.
One
Yeah.
Just
time we
one time,
did.
I think, right, Jack?
Yeah,
Mhm.
like I said, I've been on campus for decades and decades and decades,
Yeah.
and we actually closed one afternoon because we had a tsunami, but it never hit.
It never
Yeah.
Because
came.
one of the things geographically is we're protected by the Channel Islands.
Yeah.
Mm.
And so even if a tsunami came here, it probably wouldn't hit us with very much force. It would hit the islands
Yeah.
and you'd be pretty safe here.
Like I've heard B said Santa Barbara's like the safest place on the West Coast for a
Mhm.
tsunami because of the islands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did have a question, Luther. Someone in the chat said maybe we should start a group me. Is there a communication channel that step groups will have with their PA or their RA or anything like that they can anticipate?
Yes, during step, y'all will have a group meet. But for now, I would encourage everyone to use Shoreline. So there's like a general channel. I'm trying to get like some momentum. I know people don't really know what Shoreline is yet, but to chat with each other, I actually left a chat there today in the on the Shoreline general channel, for a reminder about this event. But yeah, if you want to like connect with people, definitely use Shoreline in the meantime.
Uh, Ava Sosa asked, how can you graduate in 3 years? Is summer courses the way to go?
Hmm.
Yes, if you want to graduate in 3 years, it's almost depending what you're bringing in from your AP or community colleges. It's the way to get ahead. And uh, everyone in my immediate family were multiple majors. All of us could have graduated, and I did graduate in less than 4 years as a triple major, no less. So if you wanted to have that conversation, remember my name, Jack Rivas, or any of the other EOP counselors. We can help you.
And this is on another note, but if you haven't heard of the Basic Needs website, please Google UCSB Basic Needs. That will be a really, really important resource for you. You're going to want to bookmark it. And it has very general and specific things that you really do need. And so, financial resources, food resources, technology resources, well-being resources, and resources if you are experiencing an urgent crisis. So you can Google basic needs UCSB, or food.ucsb.edu will lead you to the exact same website. So please peruse those.
Sounds great, Tara. Thanks so much. I wanted to mention that a couple people in the chat, Jonathan and Mikey, mentioned, that they went to another campus sponsored event, orientation, and they were a little nervous, but now they're here with us. So this is kind of an experience sometimes for our EOP students, and I invite our students in the room to share that. You might go to the financial aid office or to, another office on campus, and it's a lot of information and it might go fast, but a lot of students may come to EOP after that meeting, and we have 45 minutes to spend with you to kind of unpack some of the information you might receive from other offices. It's like kind of our specialty, but I invite our student staff to also share about that.
Yeah, any
Right.
student want to chime
Or
in?
at least I would recommend if there's if you leave another campus office kind of confused or unsure or a little shaky, come on by our office and we can help clarify and make it a more comprehensive, understandable information.
Mhm. Definitely. We could get back to it. I'm just seeing the group chat efforts right now. I don't want to be a downer, but I do want to alert you all. In the past, I don't think this will happen this year, but I want to alert you that in the past there was some cyberbullying going on, like in one of the chats before that was not UCSB related, where someone was like being mean to someone. They were making plans like to bring alcohol and whatnot, and those people actually were dismissed before even being able to come into UCSB. So just remember that if even if it's not like a UCSB sanctioned like group chat, please be respectful. Like there's no need to be, doing any of the nonsense. Because I don't want it to jeopardize your UCSB eligibility or eligibility for STEP. That's why I recommend just keeping it to Shoreline. And then when you get here, by all means. And then afterwards, add each other on Snap, whatever socials, all that. I saw the question about semi-formal attire. I think it got answered. Um, but other questions about social transition, kind of
I saw
winding
there
down.
were a lot of questions about people asking about recreational activities. For athletics, we're a Division I school, so it's at the highest level of college competition. And if you weren't recruited, it's really, really hard to make a team at this point. But most teams do have open tryouts that you could try for. Um, we have a huge club sport program as well. So there are other schools, but they're not scholarship athletes, but they play other schools. That's also available. And then we have an internal, it's called intramurals, where groups of students just make teams and they play other groups of students here on the campus. And that's a really big program as well. And that's a combination of faculty, staff, and students who are competing against each other. But all those are options as well.
Very cool. I'm going to go ahead and stop recording right now because we got through most of the discussion. Like I mentioned, though, we still do have some time. If career staff have to get going, that's okay. But I think some of us will be able to hang on and just chat. Really, like any questions or concerns that you have, this is a good time.